The remote job market isn't dead, but if you feel like you're sending resumes into a black hole, it's because you're hunting in the exact same overcrowded places as everyone else. When millions of people apply to be a social media manager or an entry-level software engineer, employers hold all the cards. They can afford to drop starting wages to the floor, knowing there's a massive line of applicants ready to take the job for pennies. High-paying, accessible remote work exists in roles that are deeply boring, incredibly tedious, or emotionally heavy. Reaching a $100,000 salary without a highly specialized degree requires a calculated trade for a concept called friction. Think of the friction premium as a measurable cost to you, like weird working hours, massive stress, or mind-numbing boredom. That friction scares off the masses, and because fewer people are willing to do the job, companies are forced to pay a premium to whoever is left standing. This chart shows how that dynamic actually plays out. On the glamour side, the barrier to entry is low, but competition is sky-high, which kills your starting pay. But look at the friction side. Because the work is unappealing, the competition drops and the starting salaries jump. Looking closer at this breakdown, the modern remote economy basically trades in three specific types of friction currency. You can get paid for absorbing an emotional toll, for working non-traditional hours, or for enduring extreme tedium. Entering the high-paying remote economy in 2026 requires you to evaluate these trade-offs and decide which specific friction you are willing to trade for your paycheck. The first category revolves entirely around massive, repetitive, analytical focus. We're talking about roles like AI data annotators, content risk reviewers, and statistics validators. The daily reality of these jobs looks like this. You will spend hours staring at dense spreadsheets to fact-check marketing claims, rating hundreds of AI chatbot responses, or reviewing user-flagged content that can be highly disturbing. And you will do all of it behind the scenes, with zero public recognition. Because tech companies are racing to train AI models in complex reasoning, the demand for high-level validation is surging. Annotators with STEM or coding backgrounds are being paid to verify technical logic that the software hasn't mastered yet, pushing salaries to over $90,000 for those willing to endure the repetition. You also get incredible job security. AI is great at generating data, but it is incredibly bad at understanding nuance, emotional context, or the legal risk of a marketing claim. Companies have tried to replace these human roles with bots, and they almost always fail and revert back to human moderators. In short, you are trading away mental stimulation and risking a bit of emotional fatigue. In return, you get the ultimate location freedom and a highly stable, predictable income. The second category extracts its friction through schedule disruption and a massive demand on your patience. This is where remote patient monitors and tech support specialists live. Think of a remote patient monitor like an air traffic controller for someone's health. You sit in a dark room during the overnight graveyard shifts, watching a screen full of blips while the rest of the world sleeps, waiting to catch the one vital sign that goes wrong. If you prefer the tech side, the work involves mastering one specific, unsexy software ecosystem. Your entire job is to demonstrate extreme patience while walking older business owners or frustrated clients through very basic setups. Starting salaries here typically land between $50,000 and $65,000, and your job is highly protected. AI cannot legally or practically intervene in a physical medical emergency, nor can it physically configure a messy offline business system. The catch is obvious. You either have to completely sacrifice a normal 9-to-5 social schedule to work those weird hours, or you have to willingly absorb the brunt of client frustration on a daily basis. You don't need a medical degree or a computer science background to land these jobs. You bypass those traditional barriers by offering up your patience and your typical waking hours as direct payment. The final category is the highest earning group on the list. These are the front-line communicators, roles that require relentless, high-pressure interaction, like customer success coordinators, remote setters, and pre-need funeral sales. The friction here is intense. You are executing massive volumes of cold outreach, handling constant daily rejection, and in the case of funeral sales, navigating heavy, grief-stricken conversations with families planning for the end of their lives. This chart illustrates the financial upside of that stress.
While the base salaries start off relatively modest, they scale rapidly through performance commissions, easily pushing total compensation well over $100,000 for top performers. The reason this pipeline exists is simple: leverage. You are directly generating new revenue by booking calls, or retaining revenue by stopping angry customers from leaving. That makes you financially indispensable to the business. But be realistic about the lifestyle. These workers are completely tied to their inboxes and driven by daily quotas. This permanently sacrifices the relaxed, passive digital nomad lifestyle you see on Instagram. Frontline communicators achieve the absolute highest financial leverage possible, specifically because they absorb the social and emotional friction that most people actively run away from. High-paying remote jobs aren't a scam, but they certainly aren't free. You have to explicitly choose how you want to pay the toll. This decision tree maps your psychological baseline. If you're highly resilient and handle rejection, the sales and customer success branch is your route. Introverts seeking isolation follow the tedium branch to data annotation. Night owls with upside-down schedules follow the weird hours branch to patient monitoring. Taking a role that conflicts with your psychological baseline to chase a paycheck results in rapid burnout. You cannot fake a tolerance for friction. Stop competing for the exact same oversaturated, glamorous lifestyle jobs that everyone is bragging about on social media. True career leverage exists where there is a boring, persistent problem a company is desperate to solve. The person willing to endure the friction of that problem is the one who sets the price.